Hello there. Welcome to this video on sector analysis for pharma. So we're going to do a sector analysis for pharma just like we did in our last video. In our last video, we did a sector analysis for Nifty metals, that is the metals index. And in this video, we are going to cover the pharma sector companies. Let's first start by looking at what's happening in the Nifty Pharma Index. Nifty Pharma Index is one of my favorite indices. I am personally invested in pharma companies. My biggest allocation is probably in pharma companies, and it has been so for quite some time now. Now, if we look at this chart, we see that we have been in a correction since October of 2021. So we peaked out, Nifty Pharma basically index peaked out around October of 2021, and since then it has been uh, in a more or less correction. Correction looks quite deep, but it isn't. I mean, it's a 20-25% correction, which I don't think is a very big correction. This correction, I think, has traced a triple zigzag pattern, as we call it in Elliott theory. So, and this zigzag pattern, this triple zigzag pattern probably started here, and it probably this pattern got completed in June of 2022. Since then the index tried to form some sort of a bottom, so here we see that we started forming higher tops and higher bottoms. More or less we see a higher top higher bottom formation, and now in the last few months we have seen some more correction. I still think that this low here is the most important low for this index. It's around 11,726.4. Till we hold above this level, I think personally, I think we are really priming up for a big move, a big up move on this index. Now, since we are anticipating a big move, this kind of move should also be obvious in the stocks that constitute this index, and in the stocks of pharma sector in general. So what we are going to do is one by one look at all the stocks in the Nifty Pharma Index and see if we can find some kind of a convergence with our view or some kind of sort of a divergence with our view on the Nifty Pharmas. For example, if we look at 10 pharma companies from the index and majority of them look bearish, then we can say that there is a divergence between our view on the Nifty Pharma and what's happening in individual stocks. And in case we find out that most stocks in the Nifty Pharma index are also bullish, then we can be even more sure that Nifty Pharma has bottomed out and we can see an up move. So let's start by looking at what's happening in different stocks in Nifty Pharma. The first stock I'm looking at is Divis Lab. Divis Lab was the leader of the pack during the last rally in Nifty Pharma. It benefited from interest in China plus one strategy, and also the fact that it's primarily a API oriented company. And we saw a tremendous rally in this stock from June 2017 till October of 2021. So this stock peaked out around the same time the pharma index peaked out. Since then, what has happened is the pharma index has recovered from its lows. However, this stock kept creating new lows. So what is clear, one thing is clear, that Divis Lab has lost its leadership position as far as the Nifty Pharma Index goes. This does not mean that Divis Lab would not participate in the rally, but what I'm trying to say is that probably Divis Lab won't be the leader which would dominate the pharma index move. Okay. And in the case of this stock, what we are seeing is that probably we should wait for some sort of a confirmation, some sort of a bottom formation before we can go long. If I look at it from a little bit perspective, then I can see that yes, there is a chance that the correction might be over. But as of now, it has not shown a lot of bullish momentum or a clear bottoming pattern so far. Now let's look at the next stock. This is Biocon. Biocon had been a laggard in case of the last major rally in Nifty Pharma. For example, if you look at what kind of returns this stock gave us during the COVID period, then from a pharma index perspective, you will see that the performance is very, very muted. It went from 235 to its high of around 487, and it this stock peaked out before the pharma index peaked out. Okay, so the pharma index, as we saw, it peaked out around October of 21, but Biocon basically peaked out around 21st December of 2020, 21st December 2020, right? So this stock was not a major participant in the pharma index at the time, the move with respect to the pharma index. Currently also this stock has not shown any sign of bottoming out so far. As far as I'm concerned, I mean this level around 211 seems to be a very important level. If I had to take a betting position, kind of, I might have considered going long, but there is nothing like, there is no bottom formation that we are seeing in Biocon so far. Let's look at the next stock. Cipla has basically, if we look at Cipla's performance since October of 2021, then this is one stock that has defied the correction in Nifty Pharma Index. It is at a higher level currently. For example, it was around 900. If it was around 900 in October, then today it's up by about 15 to 20%. So this is reasonably good outperformance compared to the Nifty Pharma Index. And what it also means is that if there is a Nifty Pharma rally, if it this might be a stock that leads that rally. Okay, so this stock has done reasonably well currently since October of 2022. It has basically, we have seen some correction, but it's not a major correction. There is nothing to worry about. It's like a 10-15% kind of a correction, which is fine. In spite of that 10-15% correction, this stock is basically outperforming the Nifty Pharma. So it currently also is, it looks bullish. So currently also Cipla looks bullish. Let's look at the next stock. Again, the next stock is Strides Pharma. Strides Pharma peaked out before the Nifty Pharma Index, right? During the COVID period, it gave a reasonably good performance from March 2020 lows to its January 2021 highs. This stock basically tripled, at least tripled, okay, and or more like quadrupled actually. And since then, it has been in a very, very deep correction. However, now what we are seeing is that this is finally trying to form some kind of a base. So for last 1 year, this stock is forming some kind of a base. So this is a very encouraging sign for any stock. If after such a steep fall, when we have seen almost 70-75% crash in the stock, if we are seeing some sort of a base formation now the odds are very high for this stock to go up. The risks where the risks to owning this stock were much higher here, where it was around its peak, than it is now. It is at this point of time. So this stock again, I would say, is already given some kind of a signal that it can rally. It is promising. It's promisingly positive price action we are seeing in this stock. Now let's look at the next stock. This is Abbot India. Abbot India, basically it peaked out around the same time as Nifty Pharma, and then what we saw is in line with Nifty Pharma, it also corrected. However, the recovery since then has been much swift. Now if we look at this stock, then we see that it is not very far away from its all-time high. It's just 3 or 4% away from its all-time high. So this stock is basically outperforming Nifty Pharma. So in the next leg of the rally, this stock will also be a leader for Nifty Pharma. If there is a up move in Nifty Pharma, this stock should lead along with Cipla. Okay, and what we are seeing is that there has been a bottom formation here, and after that we are seeing an up move. And this actually, if I look at, I'm not going to give specific targets, but easily it can go up by 20-25%. It looks like there are setups that look like it can easily return 20-25% in the coming weeks. So again, this is a stock which seems which should be one of the leaders going forward for the pharma space. Now let's look at the next stock. Torrent Pharma is one of the stocks which has already made a new high before Nifty Pharma tries to make a new high. And what we are probably seeing is that this stock also has a potential to really accelerate going forward. So this is another stock which has done a base formation and then has rallied. And after the base formation, it is now basically outperforming Nifty Pharma. It has made a new high, which is encouraging, and I think it's possible that this performance may continue going forward. So again, this also looks positive. Now let's look at the next stock. Next stock is Ipca Laboratories. As again, it peaked out just before the time the Nifty Pharma sector peaked out, and since then it has corrected by about, say, 40-45% type of correction it has given. So far I don't see any sign of a bottoming process to have played out. There was an attempt to form a base formation, but again it created a new low. So again we have to wait and see if is some positive base formation that takes place, or there's a major event or a major rally that basically pulls out this stock from its current state. Next, let's look at Dr. Reddy's. Okay, Dr. Reddy's again peaked out just before Nifty Pharma peaked out. If you look at its performance was good during the COVID period. I mean, it was slightly better than Biocon, and the correction has been pretty steep for this stock. Again, so this stock, although it has corrected more than probably the Nifty Pharma correction, but the good thing is that again it has tried to form some kind of a base, and we are seeing positive price action in this stock, and this stock also looks primed to go up right now. Next, let's look at Lupin. Lupin is one stock that has had a wild ride. If you look at it, went from 500 to around 1250. So it probably did in line with other stocks in the Nifty Pharma Index, and since then it has been in a deep correction. There have been some very good business developments as far as they're moving into other areas like diagnostics, and it obviously has a big network. So again, this stock, after this steep correction since May of 2021, what we have seen is that again there has been a base formation. So there are certain changes also that are taking place in the company, and there has been a base formation, and it has been doing well so far. It is definitely outperforming the Nifty Pharma's price action so far, and it's looking strong. So again, I expect that this stock too, it looks like it's primed to go up. Next, look at Granules. Granules again peaked way before the Nifty Pharma Index, and then it slipped sharply. It has given a 50% kind of a correction. So a 50% kind of a correction for Granules, and then spectacular rally since June of 2022. We have seen a very good rally in this stock. And so again, this if I look at this price action here looks corrective. So this is corrective, and once this price action ends, it is also looking primed for moving up. So Granules is also looking uh, to move up going forward. Now let's look at Sun Pharma. Sun Pharma, if you look at Sun Pharma, then Sun Pharma has one stock that didn't do so well for Nifty Pharma. If you look at when did the Nifty Pharma peak out? Sometime in October of 2021, and from there, this stock is now up at least 30-40%. And if you look at this price action here, again, this is a small correction kind of a price action, and it is again primed to move up sharply. So Sun Pharma clearly looks bullish going forward. It is also going to be looks like one of the leaders of the next rally if it emerges in Nifty Pharma. It's going to have a big contribution from Sun Pharma. So this also is looking bullish. Now let's look at Alembic Pharma. Alembic Pharma peaked out around the same time, or sorry, Alembic Pharma peaked out much before the Nifty Pharma peak, and then it crashed by about 50%. So it has seen a 50% crash, and this stock, however, it looks like it has formed a double zigzag. It has done a double zigzag kind of a correction. So a double zigzag correction may lead to a rally in the future, or it may lead to a triple zigzag correction, which would mean lower prices again. So this is a 50-50 case. We have to wait for some sort of a positive base formation to happen and a clear signal before turning bullish on this stock. Next, let's look at Glenmark. Glenmark, again, Glenmark here was it showed a spectacular rally between March of 2020. From 160, it went to 667. That's basically it basically quadrupled in price, about 300% kind of returns. And then we saw a sharp correction from July 21 to June 22. And since then, there has been an attempt to form some kind of a base. And so its price action is still positive, not as positive as some other stock. This base, there is a small chance that this base may be faulty. However, it's still looking much better, and the odds of it going up look higher than the odds of it going down. So basically, yeah, this stock overall I think is mildly bullish, mildly positive going forward. Let's look at the next stock. It's Natco Pharma. Natco Pharma peaked out again before Nifty Pharma peaked out. So around May of 2021, Natco Pharma peaked out, and then since then it crashed by more than 50%. And still we are not seeing much of a base formation happening. So until that base formation happens, we should really not expect major bullish move in this stock. And again, we in the last move, if we saw, it was probably one of the leaders for the pack. From 400 it went to around 1200. That's 200% kind of move. So it did well for the Nifty Pharma Index last time, but now I don't think it's going to be one of the leaders. And however, it may join in at a late stage. If there is a rally in Nifty Pharma, it will probably join in a little later. Let's look at Laurus. Laurus again, if you see, Laurus peaked out in August of 2021, just before Nifty Pharma peaked out. And since then, it has been falling sharply. It has some very positive developments that are happening place in the company, and still we are seeing bearish price action. Personally, I think this channel here is going to be key for this stock, so I don't rule out a move towards 300 for whatever reason. And after that, if we see a base formation, maybe it will manage to go up. Next, let's look at Pfizer. Pfizer again has crashed from its peak in around August or September of 2021. So it has again crashed by about 30 to 40%. So it's not as bad as some of the other stocks, but nevertheless, there has been a sharp correction, about 30-35% kind of a correction in this stock. Since then, we have seen some sort of a base formation again. Last few weeks, again, it has been weak. So for this stock, this level of around 4050 or 4100 will be very important, and let's see if it survives. Then it has the base to go up currently. If it survives, if it manages to stay above this 4050 or 4100 kind of levels, then it has the base to go up. Now let's look at Alkem Laboratories. Again, Alkem has seen a correction. It's basically a 30-40% kind of a correction, and since then it has tried to develop some sort of a base. Its latest price action is not too bearish, in my opinion. It's not too bearish, and it's again looking. It is waiting to really go up as far as I can see. So again, the base formation is complete, and we may expect a rally in this stock. So this stock again looks positive. Next, let's look at Zydus Lifesciences. Zydus Lifesciences also peaked out around June of 2021. That's just before a Nifty Pharma peak. And since then, it has fallen by more than 50%. And after falling for more than 50%, you see this base formation. This price structure is tremendously positive for the stock. And we can expect the price action to be positive going forward as well. So when I look at these stocks, then there are a lot of stocks that look primed to go up. If you want to take this analysis further, what you should do is you should look at stocks that are outside the pharma index. So you have to look at other pharma stocks. If you look at other pharma stocks also and see, you see a positive, mostly a positive bias, then you can be sure that Nifty Pharma Index can do well. Currently, if I look at the analysis, then it looks like a case of more like 60-40 or 65-35. That is 60-65% stock look positive, and about 30 to 40% maybe, or maybe 35 to 40% stock, they are yet to give any signal, or they're only mildly positive. So that is what it seems currently, because most of these stocks are, because there are enough leaders basically for the Nifty Pharma to go up. For companies like Sun Pharma, Abbott, Cipla, these are pretty big names. Torrent Pharma, big names. So these stocks look primed to go up. So it has enough leaders to sustain a rally if it wants. And its couple of its previous leaders are also close to forming some kind of a bottom, which gives me more confidence that yes, Nifty Pharma in 2023 can do very well, and a lot of stocks in the pharma space can do very well. Now the question is, why will pharma stocks start doing well? Because it looks like we are past COVID. That the COVID is history. Even the news flow recently has not been such that the corona cases are rising or something. So I don't know. Something might happen because the stocks are indicating that pharma stocks should do well, and for pharma stock to do well, somewhere the consumption of medicines should go up. So it can go up for many reasons. There may be a new disease, there may be resurgence of corona, maybe there is some problem somewhere else, okay, or maybe there is this China plus one, something may happen. So I don't know, so that we cannot predict because that's not my area. But definitely I think, looking into this year, it seems it's going to be good for the pharma space. So with that, I will basically close this video. So I hope you enjoyed this analysis on the pharma sector. And if you did, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Also remember to like and share this video. So thank you for today. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.